Righty. Welcome everyone to TEXAN Tailgate, episode 37. This is going to be interview with brother KG, round two. He will be here. He did let us know that he will be about 30 minutes late. So we will go ahead and just proceed with business as usual. No big deal. So as always, joining us tonight, we got Crypto Compassion. How's it going?
Hey.
And we got David Lee. Gentlemen, how are you?
Doing good. Doing real good.
Good,
David
Robert,
Lee.
thank you.
It's good to see David Lee in the flesh.
I haven't shown the beard in a while. Figured it was time.
Oh, absolutely. And gonna say hello to chat here real quick. Got Samantha, good evening, Texans. Got Hex Force One stopping in to say hello to the Texicans. Got the Clintrons in the house. Crypto Compassion here with us, multitasking. And Clintrons again. We got Godfather J6. Evening, everyone. KG, well done earlier on the X Spaces with the Cardones. And shout out to Godfather J6. He and his wife just had a new addition to their family. So congratulations to you and your family. Hope you were all resting well at home. And he has also started a new YouTube channel, so be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit him up. But yeah, it's good to be back, and it's good to good to be streaming again. Feels like it's been a little while.
Love seeing all those stars in the chat.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, gotta have those Texan stars. But yeah, it's been a really interesting week. I don't even know where to start. How's your week been, John?
It's been good. You know, I know I was talking to my lady about some things, and she was asking me, you know, oh, how's that crypto stuff? And it's like, well, I mean, the last 3 days I probably made my annual salary, so it's going pretty good.
Yeah.
But you know, it's unrealized gains. But we know that I get the feeling that the sentiment in the community is like we were talking in the green room, where we see some of these whales, you know, dipping their toes in the water, and it's almost like they do their research and they don't move until they feel like the bottom is truly in. And so because of those actions, it makes me feel like, yeah, we could have a pullback at some point for sure. Things don't always go up and to the right, but I do get the feeling that we're going to start, you know, adding to a floor that we can build on and continue going forward. So that's exciting.
You know, that does make me think of a good question. I'd love to hear the chat's opinion. But do you guys think it's the best indicator out there? Best single indicator?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's the only indicator. I mean, there's a lot of things that can really, you know, help communities come together in unity, and you know, people to rally behind. And I think a lot of times it's having the right leadership, it's having the right cause, getting involved with the right fight, and you know.
Hey, you're getting close to some of my questions for KG. Be careful.
I'll try not to go, you know, take over too much, but no, I mean, what's your thought? What's on your mind, David?
I think it's, well.
Yeah, you're a little hard to hear.
Is that better?
It's still kind of low. Just some of the folks in the audience. So.
Let me leave and come back.
Yeah, no worries.
To piggyback on what David was asking, as far as, I think it kind of goes to what we were talking about in the green room. in regards to, some of those wallets associated with maybe RH. And it was almost like, hey, you guys, stop effing around. It's time to start moving. We're getting closer to the happening, and it's time to get going, and it's time for you guys to come together and stop, bickering, and all this, and I think we saw all that drama about, whatever, someone advertising on some conference, and it's like at the end of the day, it's like, who cares? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, so
Yeah, I think Brandon hit the nail on the head when he was saying that, without a common enemy, we tend to eat one another. And, I think in the grand scheme of things, when, Richard came out and made the announcement that he had a team of 11 attorneys, highly established, well-accomplished people that, it was like, wow, like he's fighting this, and as he should. So, at the end of the day, it's like, infighting with one another is more of a luxury. You have to take a look at, the actual class war that's going on. Like, there's forces out there, organizations, governments, big institutions with legacy money that want to shut us down. So it's like, you have to kind of stop and think, where are we putting our time and energy? Like, we shouldn't be fighting at each other's throats. We need to be, fighting against the systems that, want to keep us, in retrograde. So, Trix, thank you for being here.
Did we have any takers in the chat to my question?
Don't know. I mean,
well, if not, hey, I want to give a shout out to Raffoon LLC. He got me this cup at Black Rifle Coffee Company in Waco when we was down there for TexaCon. He was a big help, and great Texan, Hexagon, and all around dude. Appreciate you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I've heard of Black Rifle Coffee Company before.
Man, he brought this big thing of coffee with the cup, with the mugs, and goodies, and he took care of us.
Yeah, Godfather J6 asking, what was the question, David? He probably will have an answer for you.
Are the whales coming in the way they are the biggest single indicator, best single indicator that you could think of?
Not, I don't think it's the only indicator, but I mean, I definitely think seeing Stack Wallet moving funds is a.
I was going to say, I saw a tweet from Corey a little bit ago. If you want to look for it, but it was like, man, there's a lot of money coming across. A lot of money. It's like crazy. Like USDC, DAI, HEX. I mean, there was all kinds of stuff in that list. Crazy.
Oh yeah, and it's good to see things like this happening, because people need to, a lot of people just need to have their faith restored, and sometimes seeing is believing, and we all kind of pretty much figured that that's what the sacrifice funds would be used for. It's hard to say, but it's nice to open up your wallet and see, wow, I'm actually up, So, like, our emotions are tied to the, ups and downs of the money.
It was a nice week of news, for sure. Lots of good news.
Yeah, Godfather J6, I can think of no better indicator than big money coming in. And we got Samantha. I think it's a good sign, that's for sure. Definitely, I totally agree. Got crypto Mylith, 6 million from the God Whale we heard. And then Godfather J6, Richard Hart can chat all day. Streamers, people on X, anyone, and it doesn't matter unless the money is coming in. Yeah, I mean, that's true, and that's unfortunately that's what makes the world go round. So, I think one of the biggest indicators is, seeing what do they call it? The interoperability, all these other different chains being able to, build roads to Pulse Chain, and you see people from other chains, coming into the ecosystem. I think that's definitely going to be huge. And we got Rags. Hey, folks. Rags. So,
yeah, that's a good time to shout out the Tang Gang. I guess the Ginger made me think of it. When you talk about bringing in people from other chains, Tang Gang is doing a wonderful job reaching out and making waves and surfing on them. They are. Maybe we need to have an orange wave right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that is just a very impressive and vibrant community. So it's always good whenever one community can reach out and collaborate with another, because at the end of the day, we're all on the same layer one. So don't need to be fighting with people over recycled money. We just need to be focused on getting as many no coiners and educating them and bringing them into the Pulse Chain, because it doesn't do any good to fight with one another. You damage yourself, you damage other people, and at the end of the day, you're not really growing the ecosystem. You may benefit personally, but whoa. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot of oranges you got there.
Juicy.
Yeah.
Nice.
We got Driggs. Maybe an indicator, but the best one is channels like this doing their thing and being vocal while the whales were MIA. Yeah, I mean, sometimes the best thing to do is when things are, not ideal, is to just build community, chill, enjoy life. And
well, Drix, brother, I can tell you, with the news this week, getting fired up for this show was a lot easier than it has been. It has been a grind at times. It's been tough, man. It's just like, mother, may I have another? It's just whack. Okay, we're gonna come back up. Whack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's been cool. This week's been pretty good, all the way around.
Oh yeah, yeah. We got Hexy Quinn with the I don't know. Are those dinosaurs or pink monsters or?
Crazy pink monsters is the best I've heard named them. I would love to know what they're called. I don't think they're called Rigby though.
No, but I do admit in my heart I want to see more Rigby. I want to see him come out and be turned loose upon the.
Ooh, Rigby was out last night. I don't know if you saw Rigby.
Oh,
yeah, he was definitely on a roll last night. It was a good stream. I didn't even know it. I was going through and it's like it ended like an hour ago. I was like, what's this all about? I didn't even see it.
Oh, thank you, Brandon. He clarified that. Weird pink monster things. WP.
Weird pink. That's it.
That's it. That makes sense now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just, this is going to be a great year. It's so many things are happening this year. You got primary elections. You got national elections. You got the Bitcoin halvening. You got rate hikes. That are going to be looking to be decreasing because they got to make the economy look good for people that are trying to run for office. And speaking of attorneys and fights and elections, have you heard anything as what's going on with the TNM and their efforts as far as the petition goes, David?
I lost track a little bit around midweek and haven't gone to do that, but I think I'm going to be talking to Sam Kemp tomorrow.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, no, definitely for sure. And I mean, there's just so much going on right now. Quinn,
this is how twisted I can be. I can tell you that the Taiwanese election is final. The DPP, the Nationalist Party, has won its third election in a row. The CCP is really pissed off, and their legislature is divided. So, yeah, just off the wall. But yeah, Taiwanese straits. There's weird stuff going on one of these maritime choke points. The Taiwanese straits, the Malaccan straits, the Panama Canal, the Suez Canal, and the straits through the Bosphorus. Going from the Med to the Black Sea. That's really strange. Usually they don't all get constricted at the same times. Now the Malaccan straits aren't really super cranked down, nor are the Taiwanese straits, but it's there. That election yesterday was a big deal. It's never happened that this nationalist party has won 3 elections in a row. And this is a guy that at one point was talking about independence, and that's the thing you do not do around the CCP.
No, no, definitely. Joshua, Kayla, Flora, hello, fam. Good to have you here, Josh.
Josh. Oh, yeah, our Ophir fam.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's always good to see the folks from Ophir in here. And I mean, they are just, doing a phenomenal job with the onboarding and the Ophir Academy, getting the, everybody in these different church groups trained up with what they need to know on how
Absolutely phenomenal. Yes.
Yeah, and how to stake and interact with the Ophir endowment token. So phenomenal job to the entire Ophir team.
Chart's looking good as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's it's coming along, and it's gonna most likely be one of those sleepers on. It's I feel like it's very underestimated.
It's the number one underestimated, I believe. They're just doing things at the grassroots that the digital world doesn't see, and people, I'm telling you, they're pursuing a strategy that is guaranteed for victory over the long term.
Oh yeah, and one of the great things that they are all about community. They are all about networking. I mean, they are just, when it comes to onboarding, they have it. Oh my God, they have it down.
The culture of love over there, it really does. It sets them apart. Anyone, you're feeling lonely, feeling dark, you need some love, check out Ophir.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, no, it's yeah, so many things going on.
Oh yes, John, we could start talking about football. Big news this week. Ohio State is going to have a senior running back. I don't know the last time that happened. This kid is so special. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to get too much into it, but we talked about having a good week. It's been a great week for me from a crypto standpoint and college football, in the sense that I talked to you, David, about, we know, I know a lot of people maybe don't know college football, but when your coach turns down Alabama, the number one college opportunity, and he says, I have the number one opportunity at Oregon, it's been a good week for me. And actually, there's going to be a lot of interesting parlays within that, because I see that my team in particular here in Oregon is going to be really good for the next 10 years, probably because of that move. And there's a lot of ex-NFL players that used to play for Oregon that I know that I would like to integrate into the Pulse Chain community through certain like NFT type projects. And I know I need to reach out to Rags, because I know he was reaching out asking NFT artists to talk, and I think that we could kind of make a fun NFT type sports card, on Pulse Chain that kind of creates a little virality. I don't want to talk about Quinn. You must be liking them Dallas Cowboys. Them Cowboys be down, huh?
I'm with Quinn. I don't want to talk about football.
But that is a meetup I want to go to, though.
Yeah.
You have that. Let me know.
No, any time you can help onboard, people from, reaching across into different, areas. It's always a great thing. And I know in the sports world, there's just a ton of, NFTs out there. So I've seen NFTs of like, basically just football or basketball clips. And I'm like, and people pay big money for this stuff. So
It's crazy.
we got a good question. Small, smart decisions. How do I know this wallet is safe? Well, the best thing that I can always tell you in terms of wallet safety is to always verify that there has been a audit, which Internet Money has been fully audited. Once KG gets on here, I'm sure he can, comment more on that and give us, the elevator pitch rundown. I don't want to go too deep into that since he's not here, because it's like, but no, that is a great question. He will address that once he's on here. Oh, and thank you so much, Quinn. Somebody asked when was the Texas Pulse Chain Tour. So we got Pulse Chain Tour events. When real estate meets crypto seminar. Ooh, that's going to be a really good one.
That would be a really cool one to go to. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So,
John, I know that's up your interest. You going?
I'm looking at that website right now.
I bet you are.
I'm drooling over it. Yeah.
yeah.
I really do feel like if we could get real estate onto Pulse Chain, a hard asset in that sense that it could drive so much adoption to the Pulse Chain and everything else within it. I know Rags and Matt have talked about different types of hard assets, but I really do think because of the cost on Pulse Chain that we could really take Ethereum's lunch in regards to transaction fees and that kind of stuff. And, I was listening to a little bit of Larry Fink talking on Ethereum, the ETF, and wanting hard assets and talking about real estate and that kind of stuff. And it got me so excited because what code is, the exact same? Pulse Chain. And so when title companies start to feel like, hey, it's really expensive to push this real estate transaction through, it costs like $2,000, and they go, hey, over here at Pulse Chain, it just costs like 50 cents.
Mm-hmm.
There
he is.
How you doing, sir?
Gentlemen, what is up? Thank you for your patience. How's everyone doing today?
Doing great, man. How are you?
Doing great. Great to see you, KG, as always.
Hey, likewise. Good to see a fellow beardsman in the metaverse.
I got it going, man. I had to show him. I haven't shown him in a while.
Oh, it's good to be here. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for joining us. We've just been keeping ourselves entertained and just kind of shooting the breeze.
With the news of the week, it was really easy.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Fun.
Oh, yeah. You mean the news being the mega green candles on the Pulse Chain charts? You mean? Yeah, some good news, huh?
Yeah, no, for sure. That does definitely have something to do with it. And I know I've been keeping up with a lot of the updates that have been happening with Internet Money. I know that you guys recently got out of beta and went to the new V1. So we've had a few questions in here. One person.
Congratulations, by the way. Well done, sir.
Thank you. It's been quite the journey. Thank you for everyone who's been patient along the way.
Absolutely.
It was one of those must sacrifices, and I'm looking at your guys' front page here, right? And I just loved reading it as the alien waved at me.
Isn't that so cool?
It is so cool, and it's it really encompasses who you guys are, you and Don, how you guys conduct yourself, and just salute.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. Yeah, we know that. I think the best way for us to describe how we feel about ourselves, at least, is a while ago, we shared a tweet that was a picture of a bunch of animals congregating around the watering hole. And there was the sun, and internet money was like the sun. And the way that we like to look at ourselves is, we are a wallet. And so we don't really take sides. We are the neutral ground where the lions and the zebras and the giraffes, they can all come and refuel and do what they need to do. And we're that middle neutral ground for everybody to meet and do that. So that's us from a product, but that's also who we try to be as people, is a very neutral, grounded force.
Yeah, and,
It's needed.
oh yeah, very much so. And I've always just taken notice just how professional and welcoming and just down to earth you guys are, and the community is, and you're just focused on just trying to make the best product possible and just help grow the community. So just really love the father son team, building native wallet on Pulse Chain. No data collection, nothing is stored. It's basically you guys follow the Richard Hart
Absolutely.
principles. So honestly, Internet Money Wallet is just something that's going to continue to get better and better over time. And I was going to ask you, KG, what exactly does the new V1 entail? I know that there's almost like a DEX aggregator in the swap feature. And me personally, as somebody who's experimented with a couple different wallets, I can tell you right now, a lot of the issues, with MetaMask, I first started running into was not seeing the ticker symbols, and then the price feed. And then you see them doing all this other stuff, which they're going backwards. They're going more towards centralization, invasion of privacy. And we're trying to move forward and get closer to decentralization. So if you could just kind of tell us how Internet Money Wallet achieves that and what the V1 entails.
Sure. No, great questions. A lot to speak on there. Before we went into V1, and the thing I want to make very clear to people, this, obviously, you've been following the saga, but what I want to make very clear to people is that we're saying V1 wasn't actually our first version. When we went into V1, it was actually version 143. So we did several launches before V1, but what V1 means for us is that it was our first version out of beta. And we were in beta for a little over a year. And in that time, we had about 20,000 downloads across Android, iOS, and Chrome. And that was great because people talk about this concept of battle testing. What does battle testing mean? Battle testing means that building on the software, people using the software, people finding where the bugs in the software are, having people all around the world with different internet service providers and different laptops and phones and tablets testing the software, and then saying, okay, do we have a global problem that like every user is experiencing? Or do we have a problem that, hey, this one guy running Windows 8 on a Chrome version that's, a year and a half old, is it some really nuanced scenario? And then building upon that. And so when we went from beta to V1, we had at the very end of beta, we had all of the V1 features. The major difference was when we first started, I guess about 6 months in, we got our first security audit in January of 23. And then in December of 23, we got our second security audit. And so with that second security audit, along with making the wallet open source, was when we took the beta tag off and we said the wallet is functioning as it should. And yes, there's more features that the wallet needs, right? Like we're currently working on NFT support. Soon we're going to be working on in-app bridging. So we're not going to stop building. It's just that, hey, we've reached our MVP. It's solid, it's stable, it's secure, and it's transparent. And that is so that right there is the distinction between beta and V1.
Excellent.
That's a
Absolutely.
lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, so it wasn't a features thing. And I guess to the no data point, yeah, we don't collect any data. And by no data, I mean exactly that. Literally to the point where it makes our job as developers harder. Because when you collect data, you get to say, oh, okay, this user was using an Android device and they were trying to do ABC over here. Here's the error, right? In our situation, we completely rely on the user that experiences an issue to hopefully communicate the details to us accurately enough that we can actually fix the problem. So we've gotten really good at that, which is actually kind of a niche skill that you never thought you needed until you worked on decentralized technology. But so we don't no seed phrases, no private keys, no IPs, no, not even the cell phone make and model, right? And people always ask, well, how can we know that's true? How can we know that you don't collect our seed phrases, private keys, or any other form of our data? And I get it, if you're not a developer, this may not mean much, but us being open source means that other people, if we were lying about those things, would be calling us out because it's there for everybody to read and verify. So what you download on your phone is what you see in our open source repo.
And in this community, you would get called out.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people in this community are not afraid to show up with pitchforks and torches.
No, they're not.
Oh.
And that's why we made sure that, and we also verified it with security audits for us, right? Like, so those security audits may not mean much to other people, but for us, going through 2 rounds of that process twice, that made us secure going open source. Because if a product is brand new and they go straight into open source and they're not a fork of something, because we weren't a fork, you should be a little skeptical, because there can be security implications to going open source if you're not ready. And so we even felt comfortable and confident in our position to put it all out there on the line, so to speak, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I'm just going to do a little bit of a screen share real quick, if you don't mind.
Your screen, bro.
Let me go ahead. We got internetmoney.io, and I'm prepared today.
Look at you.
Yeah, so I just the design, everything. I love how you're automatically connected to Pulse Chain when you first come on here. Love the concept of how the time token, the dividends. We'll see if this will pull up or not.
Yeah, it should. The dividends loading on Pulse Chain has been a little slow these last couple days, but yeah.
There we go. Yeah, so the great thing that I like about the Internet Money Wallet is that all the fees, like 100% of it, goes back to the holders of the time token, whereas a lot of your traditional, Web3 wallets that are out there, the fees actually go back to, like, well, I'm just going to go ahead and say it, MetaMask. It actually goes back to legacy finance. It's not something that's really being used to propel and get DeFi further ahead where it's supposed to be. But being able to sweep and claim dividends, love it. Let's see, wallets, add tokens. You guys are very quick and prompt to add, support for all these, native Pulse Chain projects that people love. And seeing the ticker symbol is a big deal, as well as a price feed. I know a lot of wallets that I've messed around with, MetaMask, Aurochs, even Rabby. It's just, I don't know, like, I like to actually see it and see the price. It makes a big impact. So
yeah, and while you're in there,
Sure.
Go back to add token real quick.
Okay.
So like, go down to TEXAN, for example, right? We're on the TEXAN Tailgate. Go down to TEXAN token.
Absolutely.
All right, click on that. Click add it. All right, now go back to the account. So look, it has a price. So even if like one little use case for the Internet Money Wallet, because it's not just the preloaded tokens. Even if you import a custom token, right, you're going to have a price across 72 different chains. It's not just Pulse Chain. And so what one little use case we've seen from the Internet Money Wallet is people use it as a Pulse Chain token price tracker to have all their Pulse Chain tokens in one account if they're not ready to start using the wallet yet. So it's like, even from that standpoint, it's nice. Every token, and even if it's, you don't have to like apply to us, or there's no CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, because MetaMask relies on CoinGecko to get prices. I don't know what like Rabby relies on, but we use Dex Screener. And so the moment something has a liquidity pool, be 5 minutes in, it's going to have a price in the Internet Money Wallet. It's instant and automatic. So there's no gatekeeping or application process. It's just there.
Nice. Yeah. And does the Internet Money Wallet, whenever you go to swap tokens within the wallet, does it use Pitius as a DEX aggregator?
I actually think it's 1 degree better than that, because it does. And this is not an anti-Pitius thing. We really like what Pitius does, and we've worked very hard to integrate with them. But the reason I say it's 1 degree better maybe is that when you do a swap in the Internet Money Wallet, it aggregates most liquidity sources on Pulse Chain. So what I mean by that, so if I'm going to swap Pulse to Texan in this example, let's say you have to have tokens in there to see the route. That's an upgrade coming soon, or coming in the future, that you're not going to have the tokens. But point being is, it's going to search Pitius, PulseX V1 and V2, 9-inch, 9mm V2 and V3, Fux, as well as forked over Uniswap V2 and V3, Pancake Swap, Sushi Swap, Shiba Swap. And so if liquidity exists on those dexes, or Pitius being the aggregator, it's going to show you, it's going to compare all of those quotes side by side, and whatever is the highest yielding quote is going to be on top. So sometimes it is Pitius, but sometimes it's PulseX V1. Sometimes it's 9-inch. It all depends on that particular trade. And so we do have a DEX aggregator, but we aggregate all the DEXs and actually DEX aggregators themselves. So it's like 1 degree above that. And so you can compare everywhere at the same exact time, and you'll know that you're getting the most tokens for your trade.
That is really awesome. And that is, that really does matter, because, back when Pulse Chain first came out, I was just my number one destination was go to PulseX. And I'm using DEX aggregators, and I'm like, it makes a big difference.
Yes, it does.
Because you want your money to go as far as it possibly can. So, but
we're seeing sometimes, like there was an example yesterday. I was in a meme coin on Pulse Chain community, and I was telling him exactly what I told you, or maybe it was 2 days ago, exactly what I told you guys. And they were like, no way, because the thickest liquidity is on PulseX V1. It has to be better. So live in real time, we quoted the trade. They went directly to PulseX, and we did it within the Internet Money Wallet. And in the Internet Money Wallet, they got 10% more tokens for their trade than if they would have went directly to PulseX. 10% more. That's not like
serious ROI.
Yeah, that's like a serious bag,
Wow. Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and put this in the chat. We had, excuse me.
We had a question earlier. I don't remember what it was.
We had somebody asking about the safety of Internet Money Wallet. How do you verify the safety of it? And of course, my answer is always make sure projects are, properly, professionally audited, and take a look at the results of that. But, I was like, man, KG will be here soon. He can comment way more on that than I could. But it's comment is in the chat. So, KG, I'll let you take it from here.
So that's a very important question. And that should be a question that people have, not just for wallets, but everything you interact with in crypto. And at the end of the day, there are degrees of security. So if I were to say that the Internet Money wallet or MetaMask or Rabby or insert software wallet here was the safest way to do crypto, that would not be an accurate statement, because there are degrees of, of everything. So like, for instance, I could have multiple cold storage hardware wallets on a multi-sig, each one in a different corner of the world in a military bunker with armed guards 24. You could get crazy with security is the point. And so, but on the software wallet level, Internet Money is more secure than MetaMask. I know that's a crazy statement to say, but here's a reason why. MetaMask by default generates a 12-word seed phrase, and Internet Money by default generates a 24-word seed phrase. Now, if I were to tell you that a seed phrase has, if you knew someone's 12 words, maybe you didn't know what order they were in, but you knew their 12 words. If I said those 12 words had 140 million possible combinations, how do you feel about that number? A lot or not a lot?
A lot.
Okay. Check this out. A 24-word seed phrase with, someone, all 24 of their words. You just don't know what order they're in, right? How many possible combinations do you think are there?
I'll say 2 billion.
2 billion? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's got to be crazy. Yeah.
Yes, come on, let's have some fun.
Yeah.
7 billion.
620 sextillion.
Oh, never mind.
Okay. Let me put into context what a sextillion is. You have trillions, quadrillions, pentillions, sextillions. Okay, so it's degrees. It's conceptual. It's quantum. Show me a sextillion dollars. Okay, for example. So that's just one thing. Then we have the security audits to verify that what the current setup and infrastructure that we have is solid. We don't store any data, which is a layer of security. The seed phrases and the private keys are stored only on the user's local device, and they are encrypted. And the way that they are unencrypted is when you type in your password. That's actually how you're able to sign transactions. So we have it set up to where the user is their biggest security vulnerability. And I think that as a software wallet, that's the best possible thing you can do, is make the user their number one worst enemy. And then when they are their own worst enemy, educate them on how not to be. So now we introduce them to hardware wallets. Now we introduce them to multi-sig. Now we introduce them to, whatever. You just start iterating. So I think that answers and we have open source to prove. We want you to trust us, but you don't have to. The proof is in the pudding, and if you're able, or you can hire somebody to verify everything we say.
No, absolutely. Well said. And to kind of touch base on what you were saying about the difficulty of unraveling seed words, I had a situation happen last month where, back when Ledger had their little exploit a couple weeks back, I went ahead and I bought a Keystone just to have something as backup. And I needed to populate some seed phrases on that device, but I had made the seed phrases, I encrypted it, but I made it a little too difficult. So I outsmarted myself, and I was like, wow, I can't even remember how to get back into this. And it took me a while, but one of the things for some reason, I thought I would be able to repopulate the words on the actual Ledger Trezor device. And that's a one-time thing only. Once you populate a seed phrase, you have to write it all down, make sure it's in the correct order. And it's like, okay, well, if somebody gets a hold of my seed phrase, they'll never be able to figure that out because it's out of order. It's something weird and crazy. And then I was like, you know what? I need to kind of rethink how I'm doing things, because we want to protect ourselves, but you don't want to make it to where you can't ever get back in. So that was an interesting eye-opening lesson for me, because I was like, man, I've been so cautious this entire time, and this is finally what's going to take me out.
Well, that's actually, I'm glad you brought that up, because you can be too secure. If like you ever put a child lock on something and then like you can't open the door, it's kind of the same concept, like you can actually like you said, outsmart yourself. So if you are going to start to enter into these layers of security, make sure in some way you either have like a photographic memory and you can undeniably remember everything, or even your documentation process has to be secure. So when we go out there and we just start touting security, 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 it's not that simple. Because if someone gets locked out, then what was all that security for if they can't even access their crypto?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So it's one of those things. I mean, I always get reminded in life, it's all about balance. Like, you don't want to go too far one way or too heavy the other way. You want to have a good balance and make sure that you're doing the right thing. But I want to be able to get back into it. But that was a good lesson. I was like, I need to completely redo my seed phrases, because I will never be able to repopulate this on the device again. So,
Right.
yeah.
That's a good point.
But
and also, I just one more little tidbit there for those watching. Something that I always do, like even if I have a hardware wallet, I will re-import the seed phrase to the hardware wallet and make sure that I wrote it down correctly before I put money on there. So always make sure you have it written down, because I've even seen people lose their seed or lose access to their funds because they have all their words, but maybe they switched number 1 and 2 by accident or something. It could be something that small.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend like changing too many of the word. Like, you could rearrange just 2 words, and if somebody ever got it, it's gonna be useless to them. But if you change like half or more of the words in there, it's like, okay, you've got your words, but they're not in the right order, and you can't figure out how to get it back to the right.
There's 620 sextillion combinations, bro. 24.
It sounds like an amalgamation. Oh, there's that word again.
Basically.
Now, KG, that may have been one of your best tips for noobs, but do you got anything else you could share with them like that?
Like the
as a new wallet user.
Gotcha.
Just some SOP that's really simple and useful.
Absolutely. Yeah, make sure your seed phrases, like I said, are written down in the correct order. Test them by re-importing them before you get funds. And when you're out there in the crypto space, you're going to be interacting with people on Twitter and Telegram or whatever. Please don't respond to anybody that DMs you claiming to be support, or hey, connect to this dApp and we're going to validate your account, or whatever they say. If anybody sends you a link in a DM or they're claiming to be support, there's 100% chance they're going to steal your money. And even if it's not 100, even if it's 99.99, I'm going to say 100, because I'd rather you blow off a legitimate person than trust a fake person. So don't respond to DMs. Support's not posting on Twitter, okay? Don't click links. If you're not 100% certain about something, don't interact with it, because it takes only a second to get your money stolen. And reach out to people you trust.
Yep.
And the biggest thing I would say for crypto noobs when it comes to wallets is verify the correct token contract address before adding it to your wallet, because anybody can copy paste a JPEG image and create a token address and try to make it look like the real one. We've actually busted, some fake Telegram rooms trying to mislead and misdirect people. And that's the thing is once you have a malicious token contract address in your wallet, you start interacting with it, start trying to send it, swap it. It basically activates a sweeper bot, and it basically will just continue to clean funds from that wallet. If you continue to put money and funds into that wallet, it's just going to keep draining it. So at that point, you just have to start all over again. But I always say, if you want the truth, go straight to the source.
Exactly. And if you're having a hard time verifying what the source is, like, ask a few people, right? I mean, if you've made it this far down the crypto rabbit hole, at least one person you can actually trust. So ask them. And that's actually a good, my first 3 rules in crypto. Number 1, not your keys, not your coins. Okay? You don't understand that? Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Not your keys, not your coins. Rule number 1. Rule number 2, never FOMO. Actually, because don't FOMO in, don't FOMO out. You might, hey, look, if it takes a minute to ask someone and verify and you lost out on 2 or 3%, okay, that's better than getting scammed. And then number 3, trust but verify, or don't trust, verify, depending on how you want to look at that one. So I think those are the 3 best cases for, and not even just new people. Man, I FOMO sometimes, and I'm like, KG, you broke rule number 2 and you got wrecked. It happens every time. Like, it happens every good legitimate projects. There's no need to FOMO because they're going to be there tomorrow.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And yeah, it's great. We just celebrated our 1-year TEXAN anniversary, and the sentiment, so many things that people kept saying is, most new projects don't make it that far. And if something is built with a solid foundation, good intentions, and it's designed to bring real value and utility to people, it will withstand the test of time. And I feel the very same thing about internet money, time, future. So you build things that are useful to people, they're going to use it. They're going to hold on to it for a long time. And then if they have a good experience, they're going to tell somebody else about it. Be like, hey, you may want to check this out. Look what just happened for me. So it's we've just been focused very strongly on just building community, because that's really the best thing you can do, especially during this long bear market. But I wanted to ask you, what's your thoughts and outlook on what to expect from this year as we get further ahead? Because I got into crypto in July 2021. I came in towards the tail end of the bull run. All I've ever known since I've gotten in is bear market, 99% down, buying gold. Everybody's at each other's throats. That's all I've really known. So, and build community.
Sure. So just overall looking for.
Yeah, well, just your thoughts.
Okay, so right now things are looking pretty bullish. Now I'm not the TA guy, right? I have people I look up to for that. But my one big fear right now is this a bull trap, or are we in the full-on bull? It's kind of feeling bullish. Like Pulse Chain crossed over that day 1 sack rate, which we went up to like 3025, I think, at the all-time high. But I think getting over that 301 was a real like psychological resistance that I think people were like that. I think made people feel like, oh, we're back. So, I think Pulse Chain 2024, I had to check what year it was. 2024 looks like a really good year for the Pulse Chain ecosystem, I think. And for the rest of the crypto market, I'm unsure, not skeptical, but unsure. And I guess for internet money, 2024 is a year that we're focusing on building, sustaining, improving. And I think that that's kind of the ethos. I mean, because there's like a community aspect to it that is the Pulse Chain community, because we're like a microcosm, and then there's the crypto market, I guess, which is the macrocosm. And so, but I think that in a way, the Pulse Chain community is, I don't want to say decoupled, because I mean, if the whole market's in a bear, we're obviously in a bear, but I feel like we got pep in our step, and we have spunk, and we have the drive and the motivation. I think it's going to be a really good year for Pulse Chain, and it seems like it's going to be a really good year for crypto overall.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the thing, is we got one of the, you know, strongest and loudest communities and most passionate builders. You know, I've seen people who have just, you know, put their head down to the grindstone. I know you and Don Montoya and the Internet Money team have been doing that. Like, you know what, we're just going to focus on building and grinding. And I think that's really the best thing to weather the storms. And we got so many great tools and assets at our disposal that, you know, people didn't have previously. You know, got liquid loans and Power City, and you give people options so that they you know, can extract value and don't have to dump the price down. So it's really amazing. My personal thoughts, I really feel like Richard will do what's right. He will, you know, fight and be victorious. As you know, I really feel like it's going to get dismissed. I never felt like the case he had against him was strong or going to go anywhere. It was just designed to disrupt the market, suppress, you know, price, shake people out. But I really think that those who, you know, stay with him, who truly believe, you know, it'll be worth it in the long term, you know. And that's not it's not making any promises or guarantees, but you know, he's in this for life, and he's not going anywhere. And you know, it's just a great ecosystem and community to be part of, and it's brought so many different people together. So I really do like and appreciate you know, most everything that's going on. I do have to take breaks from crypto Twitter every so often, because I'm like, this is getting a little too. Now, KG, if it was up to me, I would put literally about 95 to 99% of the folks in crypto Twitter in a steel cage match and just let them get it out of their system. You know, WWE Hell in a Cell, you know, back in the day, if you remember that.
Yeah.
No, or Thunderdome, you know, 2 men enter, 1 leaves. You know, sometimes I think that's the best way for society to deal with the problems.
Hey,
but
it's final. It's dealt with right then and there. You know, there's it stays in the cage.
Or whatever happens in the basement stays in the basement. But you know, but green candles will, you know, alleviate a lot of these things. And you know, I think, you know, I was saying earlier, you know, Brandon, you know, he hit the nail on the head. When people don't have a common enemy to unite against, we tend to, you know, eat one another. And you got to look at the big picture. Like, I'm not interested in culture wars, the duality of us versus them. We need to be focused on the class war. We need to be changing our lives for the better. And we need to be creating a better future for our children, our neighbors, our friends, our family, because when our time is up, you know, what we've done here on this earth, you know, we're passing that on, like, for better or worse. So we could spend our time at each other's throats, or we could spend our time fighting for real change that's going to not just benefit us, but everyone who comes after us.
Well said, man. And that us versus them mentality is, when it's us versus them in crypto, what you're really doing is us versus them. Because us versus them should be the crypto industry versus the things that are trying to suppress freedoms. Yeah, put him in a... Brad, you're hilarious, bro.
It looks like I'm getting the chat all fired up. They all want to fight now. Drix, yeah, man. If you know, I'll tag team with you. We'll go in a cage together, tag team match, and take on crypto Twitter. Quinn, Jack Levin versus Red Levin. It's fun. It's funny. Not too long ago, we had Shane from Richard Schuler's Shane's Richard Schuler's brother, saying that Brandon looked like Red Levin, which I thought was just. Sometimes the fun is just, it's like I just have to laugh at it. It's like I can't even get angry about it. So
Sometimes it's funny fun. It's funny.
it is, no, it is. And, sometimes people are bored and it's just, we all need a good laugh. But no, KG, I really do appreciate you coming on. I know
Man, I had another question.
Oh, go ahead.
You started talking about what's coming up for internet money, and you mentioned NFTs. If you want to elaborate on that or anything that's beyond it that you feel like elaborating about, it's this Tangang thing, right? There's so much excitement around them, and they get after it so much. I imagine if you were in a Twitter space, you were catching crap from them if there's if there's a need they have, they let you know.
The Tangang is a very powerful force within the Pulse Chain community right now. And they are very supportive of what we do at Internet Money. And we're very supportive of what they do in the Orange Grove. So we've got a good synergy with Internet Money and the Tangang. And actually the largest NFT community in Pulse Chain is basically the Tangang, right? They're minting out NFT collections all the time. And so like for us and our NFT support in the wallet, well, obviously we wanted to give people the ability to interact with their NFTs, send them, receive them, of course, view their collection within the app. And we're working out some other cool features that I don't want to release just yet, but basically on the onset, the initial goal is to have NFT support at the very least on the same chains that we have in-app swapping on. So right now that's Pulse Chain, Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, and Polygon. And then from there, maybe we're looking into, is there a way to just like tokens, right? Like in the wallet right now, you can add custom networks, and on those networks, you can add any tokens. And it seems like NFTs are the same way. So we may have NFT support on all EVM chains here very soon. So we're in that process of identifying exactly what's capable and possible. And, just like everything, putting out a version 1 of the feature and then elaborating upon it, because we want the wallet to ultimately be a one-stop shop, right? Right now you can swap, you can send, you can connect to dApps. We're doing NFTs next. Following that, we want to do in-app bridging. And those are like the big features. Not just Pulse Chain, but bridging from wherever to wherever, right? We want, and then we want to find a way to make, if you're familiar with our token Time, earning the revenue, we want NFTs in some way to be a revenue generator for Time. We want the in-app bridging to be a revenue generator for Time. We want to bring all these cool features that also further enhance the revenue generation for Time. And we want to encourage other projects who are building things, point some of your revenue to Time, because what you're going to get from that is a community of thousands that are going to come use and promote your protocol because you're putting money in their pocket. So that's the cool thing about Time, is it's not just us that have to deposit money there, or generate revenue rather. Anybody can point some revenue to Time. And so if you want to tap into an active community with your project, Time is the way to do that. But to wrap that all back, NFT support, I don't want to give timelines because but what I can say is every day right now we are actively working on it, and it's looking like NFTs are going to be the next big feature that comes out for Internet Money.
Nice.
Cool. Very juicy. Sorry, John, I stole it from you. Well, cool. Appreciate that, man. Looking forward to it. And in like 2 weeks, 00 Nate, the famous Tangang AI artist and wild man extraordinaire, is going to be in your seat to educate these noobs about NFTs and the meme coin world.
Right? that's to the new people out there. That is a part of crypto. You know, this immutable no admin key DeFi is one part of it, but memes and NFTs and fart jokes are another part of it. So, you know, it's whatever you're looking for, crypto has it. Let's say that.
Frog coin, cat coin, dog coin. It's like
Dog coins about frog coins.
yeah.
And with the Santa hat. You gotta throw Santa in there or baby mama something or like you know, whatever. Like I've actually, this is not a shill, but I've seen like Santa Floki Inu or like baby mama Doge Inu. It's like I saw one recently that was, it was like Harry Potter Obama 9 Sonic Inu. It's like, what? And the ticker was Bitcoin. It's like, what does it even mean?
I mean, I saw one token. I'm not going to say the full name, but it was
Sure.
go F yourself. I'm like, what? Like, really?
Well, do you know what that's from?
No.
Oh, dude. So recently, Elon Musk was.
Oh, that.
Yeah, that's, if you know what I'm talking about, that's what it was.
That's what it is.
Yeah, so
Nice.
it's a meme coin based on that.
Wow.
It's like, and like what's crazy is that it like actually pumps somehow. You know what I mean? It's like meme coins are a weird psychology, man. That you could probably have a whole stream on meme coin psychology.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. We
Maybe they paired it with PLS.
maybe.
Oh, man.
GFYS /pulse.
Yeah. You got anything, John?
No, I got this.
Oh, dude, that's bad A.
Pulse shake to the moon, right?
That's awesome, bro.
That is awesome.
Yeah. No, I don't got much. I'm just chilling tonight. I'm excited for the community, though. I feel like we've turned a corner. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is going to be the year where we get into the part of the cycle. Things we're transitioning and we're getting closer to where we want to be. And it's just going to be great to see, you know, community at large, people, you know, mostly happy again. I mean, everybody, you know, yeah, everybody should be happy as we get further along.
It's okay. We can all be happy.
Be happy, damn it.
But yeah, no, it's no, thank you so much for coming on, KG. We're about an hour and almost 10 minutes. So does anybody have anything before we wrap up?
Not to take away from internet money or UKG, but I do know that we have My Life is Awesome coming on next week.
Nice.
Everyone.
Lit.
So, Lit and his
Good to see
vibes.
Brother Lit.
He'll be vibing with us, and we'll do our thing. But by all means, I know that we're going to wrap it up. But congratulations on these spaces today too, KG. I understand that you hopped in the fire and did your thing. So congratulations on that. You know, and I appreciate it, man. Yeah.
You know, thank you. I was a little nervous up there. I was trying to be convicted and passionate, and
yeah,
you know, that was when they say, "Hey, you got 30 seconds, sell me." It's like, you know, I get it. Every good brand has to have that solid 30-second punch, and
right.
I was listening to the pitches before, and I was trying to get feedback and trying to refine as I was listening, and then I went and I used Grant's example of asking a question. And when I asked the question, they were like, "Why are you asking a question?" I was like, "I was literally following your advice that you gave me like 10 minutes ago." But ultimately, I have a lot of respect for those guys, Gary Cardone, Grant Cardone, two individuals I look up to greatly. And it sucked that that it came off as like that is one of the things I had said. He maybe have taken it as an insult. And that was not my intention. So that sucked to have come off that way. But I think, well, like I said on Twitter earlier, show me the man that doesn't need to improve, and I'll show you a liar.
Right, exactly. And the
Yeah.
more and more practice and opportunities you get to, enter that arena, um, just the better result. The punch will become harder. You know what I mean? So don't shy away from it. Keep doing it. And I think we're on the cusp of having those guys join the community too. I know they kind of trolled us today, but I would love to see not just Gary, but Grant come in and for us to, I know you come from a real estate background. I'd love to see Pulse Chain adopt some type of real estate hard asset on our chain.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I think that having that kind of voice in the community and having that kind of a product would be awesome. It would help us in our bags by a lot by having that kind of a suite within it. So, yeah, that's getting away from what we're trying to do here as far as wrapping things up. But I
It's all
appreciate.
good. I was going to say, hey, man, that is not an easy environment to step in. They're not gentle, and you're going to second guess yourself no matter what you did. So that probably means you did pretty good.
Mm.
So don't worry about it.
Well, thank you both.
Yeah.
And yeah, Compassion, I agree with you that it's like it can only stand to be positive getting guys like that in our community, because not only do they have big bags, but they have so many connections to like legitimacy, right? So, when I think when we meet up with guys like that, in person or in the digital space, because it wasn't just Grant and Gary or Storm, it was the 300 people in there or 400 people in there that we have no idea who they are. And maybe maybe it wasn't about selling them on whatever, but maybe we enticed people in some way, shape, or form. And so, it's always about like, don't hurt them, convert them. That's a good saying. And it's about knowing that you're not just talking to the person you're talking to, and trying to get as many people over to the community as possible. Because the more people we have in the community, the more successful the community is.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, and just want to end on a real quick note. February 17th is going to be the Pulse Chain tour date that meets real estate. Quinn posted that comment earlier. So if anybody is looking to attend, pulsechaintours.com, I believe. So
In Houston, and I think I heard there's going to be a Texan presentation there too. Special presenter that's not a founder.
wow.
Might have a sweet singing voice.
okay. I got you.
I got you. I know where this is going. So, anyways,
And John's probably going to be there too.
I might. We'll see. I like the real estate on the Pulse Chain. I'd like to see that happen. So cool.
Press some skin, man. Press some skin.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, KG. I'm glad we all got the opportunity to get together, talk, hang out. Yeah, I know a couple weeks ago I was having internet issues, but I've gotten that resolved. So,
man, you need to trade those internet issues for internet money, bro.
I've got internet money.
Nice.
I could use more. So,
look at him. He's looking for the next arena. I'm ready.
so,
You be that quick, you got it, dude.
Yeah. I wish I was that quick earlier, but no, guys, I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to come in here and talk. It's great to catch up. If you guys ever want to chat some more, it doesn't always have to be about internet money. I appreciate when it is, obviously, but I legitimately enjoy your guys' company and appreciate these talks and your perspective. So thank you for supporting us and giving me the platform to talk about what we're doing.
Likewise, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely. Anytime. Thank you so much for joining us. And we will be back next Sunday. Is that next Sunday is Lit Gains? Is that right, John?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. So we will be back next Sunday. So hope everybody has a great night. And thank you for joining us.
Love y'all.